Tandem Nomads episode 289. If this is the time where you're starting to plan your business and your goals, or even if you are trying to take your business to the next level but struggling really to know how that looks, then in this episode we'll talk about one of the most important places to start if you're looking at defining your goals and making sure to achieve them. Hello, and welcome to Tandem Nomads, the podcast show when you can find great inspiration and resources to grow a successful business that is aligned with your lifestyle and your priorities. This is your host, Emel Dedeki. I'm a business and marketing coach and the founder of Tandem Nomads. If you're listening to this episode while it's being aired, this is the time where hopefully you start thinking about your goals for the coming year, 2023, or you are in the midst of it and maybe struggling to really know exactly how to turn your goals into reality and how to have a plan that actually works for you. So I'm not going to talk about how to design your goals and how to design your action plan to make it happen, but I will talk to you about the one thing that needs to happen so that you can have clarity on how to turn your goals into an action plan that works for you. And that thing is to actually think about a simple thing, a very simple thing. And yet you would be surprised to know how many people struggle with this question. And maybe you also do. And the question is, what do you want? What do you really want to achieve in your business this year? And what do you really want to look like in your life this year? But also in general, what do you want to make out of your life and your business? What is that vision that you have? So tell me honestly, can you really answer this question with clear sentences, with clear visualization of how it looks like? If so, I'm really excited for you because this is a fantastic place to be, because when you have that clarity on what you truly want, that's when you're aligned. That's when you know exactly how you should make it happen. And even if you don't know how you should make it happen, you are in the right mindset, intention, energy to make it happen, which is really important so that you can commit to the action plan once you have it. That's really wonderful. However, even when we have the clarity, sometimes we tend to forget that reason why we do what we do, because we get overwhelmed with all the thoughts that we have in our brain and our doubts and the day-to-day things. So I will be talking about this as well in this episode, about how to deal with those things that might stop you from turning what you want into reality. But I know that most of people, and you shouldn't feel bad if that's you, most people struggle to answer that question. What do you actually really want? Not what you should do, not what you have to do to reach your goal, but what do you want? What do you deep inside, in your core, in your body, in your soul, want to achieve out of this journey in your business and your life? And why is it so important to you to commit to your business? And why is it so important for you to have a business that allows you to build the type of life you want to build? And as I said before, that's not an easy question, because very often we actually tend to get distracted and buried in all the do's and all the musts, but also all the mundane tasks of our day-to-day lives that sometimes take over our dreams. And if we have been at it for many years, at some point, we might even have forgotten why we're doing what we're doing. So today, I want to invite you to pause and think about this question: what do you want to do? And allow yourself to think about it without any restraints, without all the buts and ifs, but I can't do this because I have so much to do. It's not the right time because my kids are still so young. It's not the right time because my job is so demanding and I can't leave it right now because I need to make money. It's not the right time because my family needs me. It's not the right time because I don't have the energy. It's not the right time because I don't have the skills right now to do what I want to do. So these are all the reasons why we sometimes get buried and forget over time our dreams and what we truly want. And I truly believe that your business needs to be aligned and serve your big picture, serve your big image. And one of the things that I realize more and more as I grow in my business is how important it is to reevaluate that. What do you want? It doesn't have to be stuck in a stone and written in stone. What you want can change and can evolve, and that's okay. But it's important to have clarity on what you want, because that is so important to put you in the right mindset and the right intention and the right energy. And it will affect your commitment to your goals. Because if your goals are not aligned with what you truly want, and if you're defining your goals just with what you should do, then suddenly there will be a disconnect that makes you at some point not be able to show up to those goals. And also that will affect how you react when things don't go as planned. And this is why a lot of people actually don't reach their goals. And even just couple months after defining them, to just give them up and forget about them because they're not connected to that big why. So let's talk about how you can connect to your big why and really embrace the big reason of why you want to do what you do and what is it that you want. Because maybe your brain is not clear about what you want, but I can assure you that deep down inside of you, your soul knows what it wants. You deep inside, when you clear your head from all those doubts and all the noise, you know what you want. So what you need to do is create a moment in silence and listen. Listen to your soul. Listen what's deep down inside of you so that you can finally be able to build a business that is aligned with who you truly are and how you want to show up. So there's so many ways to take this, and there's so many ways to make this happen, to get clarity on what you truly want, but also make sure that throughout your journey that you don't forget what you really want and are making sure that all your actions are aligned with that. But today I just want to give you some simple things you can do. Things that I've been trying myself that really worked really well for me, and hopefully they will work for you as well. So the first thing is really about silencing all the noise. And very often when we try to silence all the noise, and by that I mean all the to-do lists that you have, all the worries that you have at the moment, all the stress that's happening in your life, as well as all the doubt that you have around yourself, the self-limiting beliefs, and the lack of confidence maybe that you have, or simply the lack of time. So for me, all those reasons are the reasons why we don't take the time to actually tune into what we want and make sure that we are aligning ourselves and our actions to it. So the first thing I invite you to do is to create a moment of silence. And there's a simple exercise that I've been doing, and I've been pushing that, not really thinking that it could really do much, but the day I tried it, it was magical. And I know how busy things can get, and this is why we tend to not do that, but you need to commit to do it if it's really important for you to make things happen in your business, is to actually create a moment of silence where you make sure that nobody disrupts you, or you maybe want to go somewhere else where you have no kids around, no pets around, no friends, family around to disrupt you. And you take at least 2 hours. I know people that have taken 4 hours, but 2 hours of silence without any phone, without any music. And if you should use any music, use some type of meditation music where there's no rhythm, no voices, no wordings. And sit down for at least 2 hours without doing anything But ideally, it would be great to be in complete silence. No notes, no paper, no reading, no listening, no moving. You can eventually grab a glass of water, go to the restroom if you need, but that's about it. You need to sit down for at least 2 hours. And if you want to take this, I haven't done that and I need to do it, but I heard that 4 hours can be even more powerful. But I've done that. I've sat down for 2 hours, not doing anything. And I can tell you, it was so powerful. So powerful, because what happened is that at the beginning, my brain was racing with all the things I should do, all the things I need to plan, all the things that I should do and didn't do well, and all the thoughts that have been taking over my actions and my concerns. And then the idea is to let the thoughts come, don't resist them, don't fight them over, just let them come and then let them go. And then you're going to have many waves of thoughts like these that will come, and at some point, you will start hearing deep inside what you truly want. Don't focus on figuring that out. Don't even ask yourself, what do I want? But just let your soul guide the process, and just, in a way, for once, be passive. For once, just let things happen on their own. Don't plan anything. Don't have an agenda of what you should get out of these 2 hours. Just sit for 2 hours and see what happens. And don't obsess and go too much in the rabbit hole when you have some thoughts coming up, but don't resist them either, because then it becomes very frustrating, right? So take that time of silence and see what happens for you. I have only heard amazing things from all the people that I've known that have been doing this. And as I said, for me, the next level is going to be to do it for 4 hours. But I can already tell you that those 2 hours that I had were magical. After those 2 hours, I felt such a huge weight lifted, so much lightness, and so much, it's as if I was connecting to myself again. And there were so many thoughts going in and out, but that was okay. I still enjoyed that moment with myself, and that was so powerful. So no expectations about what should come and happen during those 2 hours or 4 hours, but plan and commit the time to make it happen. And then the second thing that I recommend you to do then is to take a pen and paper, and without overthinking it, without, making your left brain work too much, just come from a place of ease and trust that the words would come through your hands and your fingers, and the pen will translate what's going on deep in you. And write down, what do you aspire for? What is it that you're trying to build through your business? What is it that you want to experience in your life? How do you want to show up and be seen by your peers? What kind of results do you want to see for yourself, for your clients, for your family, your loved ones, the people you serve? What kind of activities you want to do? What will make you truly happy if you had zero concerns about how you would do it, if you could do it, whether or not you're the right person to do it? If you had a magic wand and could let go of all the things that are holding you back, what do you want to see happening in your life and your business for you and your loved ones and the people you serve? Write it down, and when you do it, really make sure to do it with as much freedom as you can, and fantasize. Just fantasize about it without any pressure of you having to do it. However, when you write those sentences, make sure to write them in the present tense, not in the future. Write them as it was happening. So it's more than just visualization. I want you to fantasize of that ideal life you want as if it has been already happening and it's happening now. So do that. Allow yourself that moment of magic of creating the life you want and writing it down on paper as if it already happened. And then the third piece is to actually read that piece of paper at least once a day and ideally 3 times a day. So why do you need to do that? You need to do that, first of all, to remind yourself of what you want, but also to train your brain the fact that it already happened. And when your subconscious mind starts thinking that this has already happened, suddenly, without you even realizing, you will make the shifts in your body, in your mind, and your actions that will lead you to do the right things and make the right decisions for your business. So it's powerful. There's a lot of studies that show about how it is important that our subconscious mind has understood what you want and starts seeing it before it's even happening. If you train your subconscious mind to see things as they are and as you want them to be, it will guide you without you even realizing in the process of making the right things happen. However, what's really important for you to proactively do is to actually commit to the routine of reading that statement every single day. And if you do it 3 times a day, that's even better. Reading it won't necessarily make it happen, but here's what will happen, is that you will be training your brain to commit to that vision by committing to reading it, simply reading it. So if you're not committed to reading it every day, you're not committed to making that vision happen. And reading it should not take you more than 5 minutes. So if you can't take 5 minutes a day to read that statement, and hopefully at least once a day, but ideally 3 times a day, if you can't make that habit and that commitment to reading it, how can you commit to the more complicated things to do in your business, right? So for me, it's more than just about training the subconscious mind to believe that you can do it, but it's about proving to yourself that you are committed. And for me, that's the signal when I start giving up on more routines that I've decided on what routines will help me achieve my goals. One of them is reading that. And when I'm not doing it, it shows me that I'm actually losing that connection with that big why and that I'm not really committing. Commitment is your keyword, hopefully, for this year. It is my keyword. It's been always my keyword. And for me, it's always been more important to commit to my why and my goals rather than pushing myself to work hard, to do the hard things. We often think about working hard, but committing is a little bit different. When you're committed to your vision and to your goals, you are actually committed to making it work for you despite the challenges that will come along the way. When you are committed, you are clear and smart about how to do things so that you don't let all the noise and the unpredictable things come along the way to stop you from the journey. So truly, do that, and I hope that you'll do it and come back to me and tell me how it has affected you. I've seen some big shifts for me, and I hope you'll experience it too by committing to reading that statement every single day, at least once, and ideally 3 times. Okay, now the 4th tip that I have for you, and this one is a bit more complex, but I want you to really pay attention to this one because this is what makes the difference between big leaders in the world, people who achieve big dreams and achieve big revenue goals and manage to make some big projects come to reality, and those who don't. For me, the key shifting point for everybody is when we start paying attention to the thoughts that we're entertaining as we are in this journey and how we choose the ones that truly serve us. I've been talking about this in many episodes, but again, I want to really insist on this. Having clarity on what you want is so key to be in the right mindset, to have the right intention and energy to show up in your business. But also, your reality is already created in your head before even you start doing anything about it. And this is why it's important to choose the thoughts that will help you. So you choose the thoughts by writing down those statements in the present tense, but also you want to pay attention to all that noise that is subconsciously or consciously coming through that is stopping you from making it happen. I'm talking about all that self-talk that you might be hearing, and sometimes not even hearing, but that is happening, that's telling you why you can't do something. For instance, you don't have enough time, the kids are too small, oh, my boss is too demanding, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't have what it takes, I don't know how to do it, I don't have an idea how to do it, I'm not strong enough for this, I'm not meant to be an entrepreneur, I'm really not good at this. So all these thoughts that are piling up on your mind and all those things that you have to do, I want you to identify them, to write them down, and then for each of those thoughts that are stopping you, to redesign the scenario, redesign the story, and then write the thought that you choose instead to actually make it work for you. Let's say, for example, you have this doubt, I'm not sure I have what it takes and the skills to be able to do this. Well, the thought you could replace it with is, I will figure out what are the skills that I need to make it happen. Or, here are the 3 instances or 3 events that happened in the past that show me that I actually have the skills. Trust me that even me who have been down this road for over 7 years with tandem nomads, I have moments where I had questioned whether I could do something when I actually had already done it in the past. So our mind is constantly triggering us, and that might be attached to some past traumas, to some of our thoughts and beliefs that we're building up through childhood and all of this, but you can change those thoughts. So make sure to write down, to first of all, identify the thoughts, write them down, all those things that are stopping you from making it happen for you, and then replace it with the facts and the thoughts that will actually help you move forward. And then repeat those thoughts every single time that you have that limiting belief that comes to you. Immediately shift it to, oh, that's not true. Here is what's true. So do that exercise constantly. I can tell you that every single day I have several instances where I catch a thought that is stopping you from showing up. And I have to immediately say, oh, that's you. Hello there. This is the thought you're trying to make me believe, but here is the reality and here's the truth. And then I replace with a thought that serves me better. And here is a fun story that might inspire you on the power of words and the words you choose when you decide to believe and think certain things in your brain. You might have heard of the expression abracadabra, which is that sentence that magicians say to make magic happen. And I discovered recently that the word and the sentence abracadabra comes from an ancient Middle Eastern language that were also known as Armenians, or the ancestors of Armenians, and it has the mixture of Hebrew, Syriac, and Phoenician language. So abracadabra in Aramaic language means I create as I speak. And that comes from the ancient belief that actually whatever we say, we make it true by saying it. And that's why we talk about the subconscious mind powers. When we start believing certain things and saying those thoughts to ourselves, those thoughts create our reality. That's why I was saying before, your reality is created in your head first before it comes to your life and to your day-to-day reality. So pay attention to the abracadabra that you're doing, to the magic that you're doing, and make sure to choose the sentences that actually serve you. Make sure to choose the thoughts that serve you. And it might seem so basic, but I can promise you, I've spent in the past couple years hours studying the subconscious mind, studying a lot of coaching tools, studying a lot of psychology and all kinds of resources, and they all boil down to the simple fact that our thoughts are guiding all our actions. And if we choose the right thoughts, we are guided by the right actions and show up with the right intention and show up with the right energy, despite of any challenges that might come along the way. So really pay attention to your thoughts, and every single day keep listening to what's happening in your head and rephrase that continuously. And the more you do that, the more you'll have that powerful mind that will get you to do anything that you actually want to achieve in your life. And my final point that I think is so important, to not get frustrated when we can't see all the results immediately, to not get frustrated when we have challenges come along the way. And that is also very basic, but so powerful. And for me, it's gratitude. Observing a real daily routine of gratitude, and I mean it, I really mean it. I know we keep hearing it all the time, but I can tell you that when you're truly grateful for every single breath you take, for every single bite you eat, for every single interaction you have, for every single dime that comes into your bank account, that attitude and that energy will bring even more energy. When you come from a place of abundance, when you believe that you are already successful, when you believe that you already have everything you need, and you don't come from a place of scarcity and fear, that is when you open up for anything. You open up to all the opportunities. And when you come from a place of true gratefulness and abundance, you're not afraid of losing what you have. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people get stuck with, is the fear of losing, the fear of failing. When you know that no matter what happens in your life, you will always be fine, because you will always be grateful for the little things that you have in your life that will be enough. You will never fear of losing what you've got. So make sure to live from a place of gratitude and remind yourself of every single great thing that is happening in your life every single day. All right, so I hope that this episode will help you to think about deep inside what you truly want before we get to start planning. And I can tell you that I had to do it recently, and I shared with you in my previous solo episode about Tandem Nomads 7 years, where I started feeling a shift inside of me, but I couldn't figure it out. So I had to work a lot on understanding what I truly want. And these are some of the things that I've done. And my energy has shifted in such an amazing way. And I can only hope that you experience that as well. And when you experience that, suddenly you believe that you can do anything and have the clarity to know exactly what is the action plan you need. But you might need some tools to be able to turn that big why, what you want, into an action step. And that's where I come in if you need me. So this is what I can do for you, is to help you turn that big why into an action step so that you don't have to get stuck in figuring out how to do it. I'm here to support you. I can do it in so many different ways, but if you're interested in my support, make sure to reach out. You will find my information on the website tandemnomads.com/289. But know that you can simply also email me on connect@tandemnomads.com if you're interested to know about how I can support you in turning your goals into reality. I will invite you to a call with me, and depending on your goals, depending on where you are in your business, there's many different ways we could choose from to be able to support you. Before we end this episode, I want to take a minute here to thank you for listening. And if you're listening this in the beginning of this year, 2023, I want to tell you how much I believe in you and how much I'm dreaming for you to actually live up to your full potential. I hope that 2023 will be an amazing year where you finally embrace your full power, your dreams and your potential, and make it become reality. And I hope that along the journey we'll get to meet and talk, so don't hesitate to reach out if you want to share your feedback and your experience of turning your dreams and your goals into reality. I can't wait to hear all your success stories for this year, all your major milestones, and stay in touch with you along this year. Let's do this an amazing year, and let's stay in touch. I can't wait to continue this journey with you and support you in turning your challenges into great opportunities.